Wait till you see what I have come up with today. It's crispy, it's gooey and cheesy. Let's go.
Bonjour y'all, I'm Miss Kate and this is Go Cuisine. Here we make cooking fun, easy, and adventurous. Let's dive in.
So this is a recipe that's born of my love of caramelized onion and flaky puff pastry. So we're going to start by slicing very thinly a sweet onion. And if you've never caramelized onion, let me tell you, you're missing something. So let's get started with cutting this up. Clean your onion very well, get off all that icky stuff, and then slice thinly. You can use a mandolin if you want, but I'm scared of those. I mean, yes, they make perfectly even slices, but I can do it with my knife and not cut my hand. A little safer. So just get all that onion goodness. After you get your onion sliced, heat a heavy bottom pan with a bit of olive oil on the bottom on medium-low heat. We're not looking to add color directly here. We're going to add color by cooking this slowly over time. So it's going to take a while, probably 15 minutes, maybe more. It's okay, it's worth it, I promise. Give it a good stir and get everyone coated with that olive oil. And again, low and slow is what we're going for here. After a few minutes, your onions will become translucent. Keep stirring them. We don't want to color them because they sat on the bottom of the pan. If you find any onion skin, get that out of there. It doesn't belong in there. Now you can see the bottom of my pan is starting to get some color, but I don't want that on the onions, so just keep stirring every now and then so that doesn't happen. After about 12-13 minutes, you can see here some magic is starting to happen with my onions. Those are not brown because they set on the bottom of the pan at a high heat. They're starting to caramelize with the sugar that's naturally in the onion. Just keep going. This is what we want now. And I promise, this is the hardest part of this recipe. After this, it's cake. You can do this the day before if you'd like, which is what I'm doing here, and then I'll assemble the rest of my tart tomorrow. After a few more minutes, you have this golden brown, delicious looking caramelized onion, but we're going to add a little something more to add to our flavor. Put a little bit of salt and some black pepper. Fresh ground is best, but use what you got. Now optionally, you can add sugar if you want this really sweet. Give it a stir and we're going to let it go for a couple more minutes. Let the juices of the onion come out and cook them down. When it looks about like this, we're going to add in a tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. Don't be an idiot like me and put this much because you don't need this much. You know what's going to happen? I'm going to have to cook this down until the liquid's evaporated, but you only need about a tablespoon, and I overshot here, so please don't be me. 1 tablespoon. We're using this to deglaze the pan and get up those brown bits that are on the bottom. And when you're done, it'll look like this, except yours won't be watery because you were smarter than me. Next, this is blue cheese. Now, a lot of these recipes, when you find them, they have goat cheese in them. I don't do goat cheese. This is a beautiful fourme d'Ambert. You can see the name here. We get it from the internet because we live in the country and nobody around here has this. And if you don't like blue cheese, I would encourage you to try different ones. They're all different. This one's very creamy. It's not like Roquefort at all. Roquefort is more, I don't know, spicy, pungent. I'm not sure what the word is. It's more in your face. And this one is creamy and smooth. It looks like this. Isn't she gorgeous? Fourme d'Ambert. You need this. Go try it. And if you don't like this and you don't like goat cheese, pick your own cheese. Now we need a pan. So do you want it round? Do you want a rectangle? Either way, you need some parchment on the bottom because we want to get this baby out and not destroy it. Puff pastry, or you can do a pie dough or bread dough. Up to you. Round 2. Now, I'm using a store-bought puff pastry this time, and it's rectangle, so I decided to go with the rectangle. So I'm just making my parchment fit my pan. This is a 9x13, and there may be easier ways of fitting your parchment to your pan, but this is the way I do it. I just make a snip on each end, and then I lay it in the pan and fold in those corners. Some people cut off these flaps on the end, but all I do is tuck them in. You'll see as we go. I'm just using my fingers to make creases so that I know the size of my pan while I'm rolling out my puff pastry. I'm going to use the parchment to help me know the size. And yes, it's perfectly ready to go, but sometimes there's some creases on it from being rolled up or folded up, as you can see here. And I just like to smooth it out a little bit with my rolling pin, like this. And then we can cut it to size. And then we're just going to carefully peel back that parchment so that we can see if we've gotten all of those creases out, and just to make sure it quickly releases when we pick it up later. And you can flip this, and we're going to use this parchment to help us get it into the pan. Ta-da! Alright, and then you just have to cut it to size. Now when you cut this, you have some options. You could use some kitchen shears. You could leave this on and roll the rolling pin across the top of the pan, and it will form it that way. But you want to make sure before you do that, it goes down into the corners. And you'll see I'm just going to use my fingers to press this down into the pan gently. We don't want to deflate. And then I'll push off the excess, and we'll use that to make a little dessert. Now clearly I'm going for rustic look here. That's okay, this is the way I want it. And after this, we've got to dock the dough. That just means you're going to stab the bottom a lot of times with a fork so that it doesn't puff up too much in the middle, because that's where our filling is going. Then we're going to blind bake this at 200 degrees Celsius or 400 degrees Fahrenheit until it's just starting to turn golden. This is 2.5 ounces or 74 grams of creme fraiche. You're also going to need our beautiful onions from yesterday. Remember those? They've been hanging out in the fridge at my house. And you're going to need some Dijon mustard and some chives to finish this up. Now the thing about creme fraiche is that it doesn't curdle or separate when it's heated. You could substitute sour cream or cream cheese or maybe even yogurt for this recipe, but I can't promise that it will turn out the same. Make sure you're tasting this as you go, and you can add more as you need to. Now I thought this tasted pretty plain, so I decided to add some seasoning. I've got some garlic powder here, some thyme leaves. You could put onion powder, and why not some black pepper, because I love black pepper. Now, here is our crust that's been partially baked in the oven. You can see it's starting to brown. Maybe should have taken it out a little bit sooner, but I'm okay with this because I don't like soggy bottoms. So that is the purpose of cooking this beforehand. And then we're just going to build our tart. Start by putting in the cream that we have mixed together. Now that I'm thinking about it, cream cheese probably would be good here, but you're going to have to heat it up a little bit so that it is spreadable enough that you're not destroying your tart, because puff pastry is pretty delicate, and we've already baked this slightly, so it's gonna flake apart if you just really go to town pushing things around on here. So spread it out, get it to all the corners, and then we're gonna layer in our beautiful caramelized onions. Man, I can taste this already. I love this. I'm gonna make this again. Promise. In the interest of science, and because I want you to be able to make this, we're going to do half of this tart with some feta cheese. I realize that a lot of people may find that the fourme d'Ambert is inaccessible, or you might not like blue cheese. And of course, you can always use a goat cheese here as well. But like I told you earlier, I don't do goat cheese. So let's try some feta. Let's just do some big crumbles across the top on this first half. And then we'll move on to our blue cheese. Now the fourme d'Ambert doesn't crumble like the feta. I'm going to cut slices and lay them across the top. But first a sample for the cook. So delicious and creamy. Love this. This is definitely one of my favorite cheeses. Now the rind of this cheese is edible, but you can see my royal tasters are here. And sometimes I don't like to eat the rind, so I give it to them, and they like it, but it is perfectly edible. But up to you. If you don't like the way it looks, or you don't like the texture, you can cut it off. Now, if this video has been helpful, do me a favor and give me a like and subscribe to the channel. I really do enjoy sharing my craziness in the kitchen, and you liking and subscribing helps you to not miss any of our adventures. Alright, let's continue. Let's cut our cheese and put it on the tart. Let me fix the camera so that you can see what's going on. Try to keep your slices about the same thickness, and I place one about where I think each part will be. Now this is looking kind of naked, so we're going to add some shredded cheese on the top, like an Italian blend or mozzarella, your choice. Now I'm just trying to cover up all the onions, but I'm not going crazy because remember, we already have cheese on here. Now to add some contrast of texture, we're going to add some walnuts on top for crunch. I didn't really measure these, I just kind of went with a feeling, but I'm sure it's not more than 2 tablespoons. Check it out. Ready for the oven. It's going back into the oven just until the cheese melts. In the meantime, remember our dough scraps? I've gathered them together here, and we're going to make a cute little mini tartlet. And all I'm going to do is roll this out the best I can, and then we're going to add some jam in this case. You could probably do this with Nutella or some cinnamon sugar if you'd like. And we're just going to create a little tartlet. I'm cutting mine in half because we're 2 in my household, so I want 2 mini tartlets. I mean, it could be just for you. You can give it to the kids. It's just to use up what we have left here. We don't want any leftovers. This is some homemade jam that our friends gave us. I believe it's plum. Remember, a little goes a long way, so you don't want to overfill your pastry. I decided I wanted 2 fruits, so on the other side, I'm putting a little baby spoon worth of peach jam, or peach preserves. And this is probably like a half teaspoon, this spoon that I'm using. Really, we don't want a lot, because this is going to melt, and it could make a mess. Definitely cook this on parchment or foil, or you're going to be scrubbing your pan. Let's add some nuts for crunch. I'm using almonds here. You could use the same walnuts you used on the tart, but I prefer almonds. Or you could go with pecans. And then we're just going to roll the ends up a little bit to kind of make a croustada or tartlet shape, just to hold in that jam and the nuts. It's very rustic. Don't worry about perfection on this, because you're not going to get it. Remember, these are scraps. It's a freebie. Yay, bonus dessert. If the ends won't stick together, you can wet your finger and just wet that pie dough and it will stick together. Or your puff pastry, sorry. Now the last thing I'm going to do is sprinkle a little bit of sugar on the top. You can use regular sugar or raw sugar, or you can use sanding sugar, but we just want this to caramelize across the top here to kind of bring our tart together during the bake. Now it's about time for our tart to come out, and look at it. Isn't this gorgeous? I mean, I can't wait to serve this. I just made this for us, but I can't wait to make it again for company or for a potluck. This is gonna fly off the plate. Okay, finishing touches. We're going to chop up these chives and we're going to sprinkle them on the top with some honey. You have a lot of strong flavors here. You've got the cheese, which if you use blue cheese or goat cheese is a strong flavor. And then you've got some caramelized onions. You've got the nuts. And then that drizzle of honey is just going to bring it all together. It's food-borne. Now, how did those tartlets turn out? Not bad for something made from scraps and something I just had in my refrigerator and pantry. But if this dessert isn't good enough for you, then check out my dessert playlist. I'll link it right here. Time to eat. I'm so excited. The crust, it's crisp, it's cheesy, it's got the caramelized onions. Every bite has a little bit of everything in it. I'm going to make a salad to serve this with. All I'm going to do is make a little vinaigrette in the bowl. This is just olive oil and vinegar. So typically my ratio here would be like 2 to 1. So like if I put 2 tablespoons of oil, I would put a tablespoon of the vinegar. But I don't have that much here. I just kind of eyeballed it. But you can stir it together in another bowl and then bring it all together if you'd like. And salt and pepper, of course, in your vinaigrette. Now, this is the same balsamic I used on the onions when I caramelized them earlier, and I'm just giving it a quick whisk to bring it all together. And then I'll toss in some arugula, or you can do a baby spinach arugula mix. That would be good too. Aim for the bowl, Kay. Aim for the bowl. I chose to do salad with this because, again, that tart's very rich, and this will kind of cut all of that richness. Just toss it in the dressing, and then we'll plate up. I'm so glad you're here at the end to see this. I mean, this is gorgeous. I love this. This is one of my favorite things I've made on the channel. So to plate up, I'm going to start out with a little bit of the salad on the side, and then I'll place my tart. And then of course we have that dessert of the tartlet or croustada, whatever you'd like to call it. I mean, this is heaven. I love this. So I'm sure someone's going to ask, which cheese did I prefer? And honestly, it was the blue cheese. But the feta was pretty good too. I might try it again with just a cream cheese for people who are picky and don't like that strong cheese flavor. Anyway, I'm glad you stayed to the end. Please check out this other video and we can do another cooking adventure together. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Au revoir and bon appetit.